This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there are no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it is totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we want to thank and welcome a new producer-level patron over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. So Derek Benton joins the ranks of Benjamin, Kyle Smith, Joe Lott, Passion Socks, Multude, and Mozyme. Thank you so much for your generosity, your support, and for helping us make our podcast that much better. So this episode, we are talking about Chapter 28 and 29 of The Great Hunt, and there is so much information to talk about.
There's a lot, and it's mostly because it's all new stuff.
Yes.
Like, we're not...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's tons.
And let me tell you, if you thought I was confused last time...
Oh yeah, we're going to ramp it up here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The confusion level just went up.
Well, we get like 2 new cultures completely. It's really sweet. I love them personally. Like, I was really excited for these ones, but... Yeah, I can see where the confusion comes from.
Yeah, so we have Chapter 28, a new thread in the pattern.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny about this one because in The Great Hunt, when it's split into 2 books, the second half is called New Threads in the Pattern.
Oh.
And for the life of me, I could not figure out if this is the chapter that it's separated at. Because when I read it, I was like, oh, this makes sense that a new thread in the pattern is a chapter where they split it in half, and the second book is called New Threads in the Pattern, but I can't actually verify that.
Well, to be fair, the second half of The Eye of the World is called To the Blight.
Yeah.
And that's not until like chapter 43.
Yeah, it's like way later.
Yeah.
But this one's kind of like right in the middle, but I couldn't find the old copies of the books, and I couldn't find it anywhere online in the 3 minutes I was researching it, so...
Yeah, you know what's interesting is I couldn't even find that The Great Hunt was split into 2 books.
Yeah.
So like that in itself was pretty rare to find.
Yeah.
And chapter 29...
Seanchan.
Yes.
So good.
I totally
man.
knew how to pronounce that.
Yes.
Just like that. Just like you said it, that's how I would say it.
Yeah, we're going to get a little bit lazy on the pronunciation here because there's a lot of names and yeah.
Yikes. Okay. Do you have a quick fact for us? Because we've been chatting already for a long time now.
It's not quick, but it is fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So this fun fact is a little bit about the Seanchan, sort of, because the Seanchan have a lot of similarities, in my eyes, to the ancient Roman Empire. Because I was doing a little bit of research into how the ancient Romans conquered so much, because we know that there are a lot of heavily influenced things from Rome in the Wheel of Time. So a couple facts about ancient Rome. So first off, apparently they claim to never have actually fought any war except for defensively. And when you think about the Roman Empire, it was huge. They took over so much of the world. So you might be thinking, how do you not fight any offensive wars and only defensive? And the whole point about that is to lie about it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just kind of the main thing there. So what you do is you claim someone else as being the aggressor, and then you go and take them over, or you get invited into a country to help out, and then you just never leave. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like how the Romans conquered so much area by seeming to be the good guy. So now when the Romans would take over, there's basically a couple things that they would say. So they would say that now that we're here, things are better because we're going to provide you with safe water to travel because we'll take care of the pirates. Yep. We'll build your roads and we'll police them so you're not going to be attacked by bandits. We're going to build aqueducts, which is going to help with water and food. And then there's going to be internal peace. So amongst yourselves, you're not going to be fighting because everyone's now Roman. So there's a lot of good ideas behind being taken over by the Romans, but that's a pretty heavily romanticized version of it.
Yeah.
Because in reality, what the Romans would do is they would come in, they'd kill tons of the population, they'd enslave a bunch of the population as well, and then give the surviving population, so whoever's left, they would give them relative freedom. So they'd give them, you can retain your culture, you can retain your religion, your practices, your traditions.
You just can't fight against us.
Well,
we'll
exactly.
Kill you. Yeah.
Because, whoever's left over generally is not going to, go against them now because you just killed a bunch of them and you enslaved the rest and said, okay, go about your daily lives, but just remember, you're Roman.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like what happens in this chapter.
Yeah. So it's very heavily influences the Seanchan is really what the Romans did throughout the world.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun to see that.
Because it's not they're fighting a giant war right now. They're just taking over everywhere they land.
Yeah, and we already know that Eridoman and Terabon and Almouth Plain is already in turmoil.
Like
so,
fighting and stuff. So.
Yeah, so we'll kind of talk about this as we go along. So.
Okay, and just before we get into these chapters, I had something I needed to say.
Sure.
From last chapter.
Okay.
Because while I was editing and re-listening to our conversation, I had a revelation.
Okay, I'm excited for this.
Okay, so the last chapter was called The Shadow in the Night.
Yes.
And there was a Trolloc picture.
Yeah.
So it really made it out to seem like it's the Shadow Spawn, it's the Trollocs, and they're the ones in the night who are attacking.
Okay.
But I had this thought that I think it was Celine who was the shadow in the night.
Ooh, spooky. Okay.
Yeah, because she like appeared and then like disappeared.
Yeah.
And she's super evil.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And
so
she's the shadow in the night.
She's the shadow in the night.
Yeah.
So you don't trust her.
Did you get that?
Even though she's pretty? Like you just don't like all that out the window?
Yeah.
She smells good?
Yeah.
She's attractive. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like the theory.
Yeah. Because usually only the bad guys are ugly, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Game changer right
she's
there.
She's the shadow.
Attractive evil person.
Whoa.
All
right. Now, we do have a lot to talk about, so I want to get right into chapter 28.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, a new thread in the pattern, and we get the wolf picture. So right away, this is a Perrin perspective.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if we ever get the wolf picture and it's somebody other than Perrin, or maybe if we ever hear from Elias again.
Ooh, get like an Elias perspective.
Yeah, maybe.
I
don't know if we're ever going to see that guy again.
A wolf perspective?
No.
Okay.
They don't even like think in English. Like that would be a weird
They think in pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for the graphic novel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so last chapter, Rand was having just a hell of a time in Cairhien.
Yep.
And the last time we saw Perrin, he was the new sniffer on the block, leading the way for Ingtar and crew.
Yes. And now we don't really know the timeline on this, so it's going to be a little bit tough to line up.
Yeah, that's actually the first thing that I wrote down, is that we have no real indicator of a timeline.
Yeah. Except for like it's after Rand got the horn back.
Yeah, that's it.
But
that's all we get.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure even when, because Perrin thinks of that like it was a while ago.
Yeah, and they've clearly had this conversation with Ingtar a couple times, but...
Yeah, and they're on the other side of the Kinslayer's dagger and have entered into Cairhien by the end of this chapter, we find out.
Yeah.
So they're pretty well past, I think, where that whole stealing back the dagger thing went down.
Yeah,
Dagger
okay.
and horn.
Yeah. Okay.
So we get that the wolves know that there were people here, but they could care less which people, and that is very little help.
Yeah.
They only care about Trollocs, and that's about it, and they can't distinguish between good people, bad people, dark friends, regular people.
Yeah. It's like, can they, but just they do not care? Or,
yeah, and then we also get that there's a lot being passed down from wolf to Perrin.
Yeah, it's like telephone.
It gets lost in translation. So we also get that Matt is looking a little bit pale.
Yeah, not so good.
Which is bad, because I was actually thinking about how long is this guy going to really be able to go without this dagger, and when is Rand going to get back to him? And this would be a crazy Romeo and Juliet situation if Rand has the dagger to get to Matt, but then Matt dies like a second before Rand.
But then who's faking their death and then like kills themselves because
yeah,
the other
not
person...
quite like that. I just mean for like...
Is Rand Juliet or...
Just the timing wise.
Okay.
But with Varen with them, she's been trying to heal Matt a little bit. And
yeah, it seems
I
that
don't
way.
know if that works.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way because Perrin's not 100% sure that that's happening, but is like, thinks that it is, so.
Yeah. And Perrin also notes that he knows that somehow Varen knows about Rand.
Yeah.
Because she's very concerned with Rand.
Yeah.
And
well,
asking
she came
lots
here.
of questions about him.
Yeah, everything she's done since she arrived, like,
has
where's
had
Rand?
to do with Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And so Ingtar falls back to ask Perrin again, for like the millionth time, what the wolves saw.
Yeah, and this is that whole time frame where
Yeah.
it seems like it's been a little while.
Yeah. So we get that someone or something attacked the Dark Friends and killed those Trollocs they found.
Cool.
Yeah. But the wolves wouldn't get too close.
Yeah.
And the wolves call the one who killed the Trollocs Shadow Killer.
Which is the coolest nickname ever.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is way better than, like, the people of the dragon. Remember, like,
yeah.
This is a good one.
Shadow Killer. So.
Yeah, and the wolves aren't afraid of Shadow Killer, more like in awe of him.
Because he's so cool.
And
that person is?
Rand.
Just, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. And so the Trollocs and Fane are now following this Shadow Killer. And so Ingtar is so in his head about Dark Friends and evilness, and he goes, Shadow Killer, that sounds like something I saw in the Blight.
Yeah, so it must be another monster?
It must be a Fade or something.
Yeah.
And Perrin's like, no, dude.
Not a Fade.
Like, that's not it.
Yeah.
Like, a Shadow Killer is someone who kills Shadow Spawn.
Now, if it was Killer Shadow, that's
way different.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a more death situation.
That is a more death situation. But Shadow Killer, I would think, is positive.
Yeah.
But Ingtar is too in his own head about what's going on here. And then Uno rides up to them and says that there is an Aielman in the rocks.
Yeah.
And I went, whoa, what? And then I thought,
they're really close.
Yeah, but I thought, is this code for something?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like when you're like,
well,
the
technically...
eagle lands at midnight, you know, or something. They have like Aielman in the rocks. Yeah. I don't know, might mean
so Aielman in the rocks means there's an Aielman in the rocks.
Yeah. It's good code.
It's a good code. It's just actually talking. So
yeah, it turns out it is. It's just Aielman in the rocks.
Yeah.
And Ingtar is actually really surprised and goes, this far from the waste? And then Uno says that he's not veiled, so they're not out for killing, and they wanted to be seen.
Yeah, because that whole black-veiled Aiel is the saying where they're going to do violence when their veil is up.
Right.
Yeah, we've heard that. We heard that a couple times in the Eye of the World.
Yeah, not for a while, though. So that's just another interesting point.
Yeah, but also, just to note, Uno is not very happy because the Aielman being seen means that he wants to be seen.
Yeah.
And if there's one, there's going to be more.
And he's also not very happy that if he wanted to stay hidden, then Uno would have never known they were there.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that he was, like, not happy about.
Yeah, so, like, we know the Aiel are, like, super dangerous.
Yeah.
Because of the whole war thing, but...
Right.
We're going to get a whole lot of information right now.
Yes, because the guy just, like, steps out in front of them and goes, oh, hey, guys. And then the Shinerians all go on the attack. But then Ingtar shouts, hold! And then we get this description of this guy, that he's a tall man with red hair and skinned darkened from the sun.
Yeah.
And Urian introduces himself of the two spires sept of the Ren Aiel.
Yeah. And he's a red shield.
Red shield.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's okay.
There's a couple things from the glossary that I just want to touch on. Not the entire...
Okay, well, I have the feeling that in these two chapters, this is going to come up a lot.
Yeah.
But it's time for glossary definitions with Brett.
Yeah, okay. There's a couple things here. So, first off, with the Aiel warrior societies. So, all Aiel warriors are members of one society, such as Stone Dogs, Red Shields, or Maidens of the Spear. Each society has its own customs and sometimes specific duties. For example, Red Shields act as police.
Ah,
yeah.
Cool.
And just a side note, this guy looks like Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case you didn't get that.
In case you forgot.
Yeah.
Rand looks like all Aiel, and all Aiel look like Rand.
Cool. So, Ingtar approaches this guy, and Perrin and Matt go with him, because they don't want to miss the chance to see an Aiel up close, even though they grew up with one, which is funny.
Yeah.
So, they see his eyes are blue, and Matt says, this guy looks like Rand.
Yeah.
Maybe Ingtar is right. Maybe Rand is an Aiel.
Maybe all these strangers who keep saying, like, Loyal and
yeah, but they weren't
Tom
there.
and...
But Perrin and Matt weren't there for that.
No, but it's, like, not the first time they've heard this.
No, it's not. But Perrin nods, but then says, that doesn't change anything. And Matt agrees. Whatever that means. So Urian then sees Varen and says to her, Wise one, my water is yours.
Yeah, so this is kind of important and interesting.
Yeah. So she has the look for someone who has made the journey to Ruidian and survived. The years do not touch the wise ones in the same way as other women or men.
So.
And the agelessness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this kind of tells us a little bit about Aiel women. That they
because
too...
we know we have no Aes Sedai from Aiel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that Urian has this like huge amount of respect for Varen because she seems similar.
Yeah.
She's like not the wise one, whatever that is, because we don't know yet, but there's still like some deference from him.
Yes. Yeah. It sounds like maybe any Aiel who happens to have any channeling powers seems to go to this Ruidian place rather than the White Tower.
Yeah. So like they have their own system maybe?
It sounds that way.
Yeah, which would, I mean, it kind of makes sense that if channeling is a thing throughout the world,
yes,
that other cultures have their own ways to deal.
And if Rand is Aiel and he has the ability to channel, it is okay to say, I think, that some Aiel can channel.
Yeah.
That's like a natural conclusion. So
yeah, absolutely.
So it's not just that like none of them can channel.
It's not like a genetic thing where they can't do it. So,
yeah, exactly. And then so Ingtar just sort of interrupts this and says that they're hunting Trollocs and Dark Friends. Have you seen any? And Urian says that when the Trollocs come out of the Blight, this is part of some prophecy that the Aiel will come out of the Threefold Land and take back their places of old.
And that sounds like an invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Shienarans like clearly don't like this because
they're like,
the last time the Aiel came out of the Threefold Land didn't go very well.
Was that the Aiel War?
Yeah, and they like ravaged the world.
Yeah.
And that was only like 3 or 4
and then they did what they went to do.
And then
right,
left.
Kill Lamin or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, done.
Gone.
But they could have just taken over everything.
Turns out, because like 3 or 4 of the clans went, and there's like 13 of them, so.
Yeah. And so it turns out that the Threefold Land is just the Aiel Waste.
Yes.
And he calls it a testing ground to the Aiel to prove their worth and a punishment for their sin. But they don't know what their sin is. It's just some sin from their ancestors.
Yeah, and you missed that it's a shaping stone to make them.
Oh.
Because it's threefold.
Oh.
A shaping stone to make them, a testing ground to prove our worth, punishment for the sin.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. In my brain, it was like split up into 3 parts of the land. That's all but no, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay, so Ingtar persists about the Trollocs, and Urian says, nope, no Trollocs that I've seen, otherwise I would have killed him. Yeah. Killed him dead. And Varen persists about the Wise Ones and the Ruidian. What is it?
Ruidian. Yeah. Well, Varen's so curious now because she's never studied
Always in search of knowledge.
Yeah. Like, this is the woman who wanted to stay behind and, like, dissect the Murdral that was nailed to the door.
Yeah. I know.
So.
Yeah. And he says that he can't tell her. But then she walks up to him and says that she's an Aes Sedai and to tell her what he knows.
Yeah.
And he hesitates and then says, I can tell you what is known to all.
Yeah, and it's also like this guy is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like he's wishing he could be anywhere else except stuck in front of Varen.
I really had a feeling that this had to do with some Aes Sedai influencing stuff.
Okay.
Because he says, I can't tell you anything. And then she walks up real close to him and goes, yes, you can.
Oh,
and
okay.
And then he goes, okay, I can tell you something.
So you're like more like she's using the power on him then. Okay.
Yeah, she wants information.
Okay, because the other way you can read it is like he's just saying what he's allowed to say. Like, this is all that I know that I can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at first he said, I can't tell you.
Yeah, so there could definitely be some prodding here.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
All right, I like that.
Because she has to go up so close to him. But also he might just be uncomfortable.
Yeah, because like there's a couple quips about the whole Wise Ones, and clearly they are similar to Aes Sedai. Like they're a little bit bullying.
Yeah. So it's not much really that he can tell her. Just that this place is in the land of Gen Aiel.
Yep.
The 13th clan. And many go, but not many come back.
Yeah.
And so then Urian looks at the sky and says, will you slay me now, Aes Sedai?
Now this is great because...
And she's like, what the fuck? No?
Well, it's all these things that Urian thinks about Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Like, these are 2 cultures who clearly don't have very much... Like, they don't talk to each other.
They don't interact.
Ever.
No.
So...
No. And he's like, well, if we ever fail the Aes Sedai again, they'll slay us.
Yeah.
And I know your power is greater than the Wise Ones. And he legit thinks he's going to die.
Yeah.
But he isn't afraid.
No, he's not.
And so he goes, bring your lightnings and I will dance with them.
Yeah, so if you didn't get that, that's in the glossary too with the Aiel description.
Okay.
That their pipers play them into battle with music of dances, and the battle is called the dance.
Yeah.
So that's just their words for fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, when he first showed up, he was like...
There's no pipers to play the tune.
There's no pipers to play the tune, but I will dance.
I'll dance if you want to. So,
Yeah.
And that's the whole, like, I'll fight if you want to, even though I don't have my pipers, like, I'll still fight you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it confused me at the beginning, and I just, like, glossed over it.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me of, like, the Tinkers when they go everywhere and ask for a song.
Oh.
And I thought that they were like, I don't have a song. And it's like,
okay.
These aren't Tinkers, though. Like,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought it was so weird and confusing, so I just ignored it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we know that the Tinkers
That
are
makes-
allowed into the waste
I
too.
know, but that makes way more sense.
Yeah,
He was just,
so-
like, ready to fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's why he's like, I'll dance with your lightnings, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Varen is just like, man, I just want to study you. I don't want to kill you. I just want to bring you back to the White Tower with me.
Yeah.
Because you're so interesting.
I want to kidnap you and study you.
Yeah, but I won't harm you unless you mean to harm me. And then that really confuses him. He's like, how could I harm you? You don't have a spear.
Yeah, you're not a maiden of the spear.
Yeah, and so super strong code of ethics.
Yes, it does seem that way. Like, if you're not a maiden of the spear, then we're not touched. And, like, I'll go through pain and injury to prevent from not touching you, even if you're trying to attack me.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, and then Varen goes, so, like, what the fuck are you doing here then?
Yeah.
And, like, why did you want us to see you? Because I know very well that you could have stayed hidden.
Yeah.
And he hesitates, but then he says that they are looking for a man, he who comes with the dawn. There will be great signs and portents of his coming. And I learned what portents means today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. What does it mean?
A sign.
Oh, a sign.
Yeah,
okay.
something
So
important.
signs and other signs.
Yeah, signs and other signs. But signs of really important events.
Oh, okay, yeah.
coming. And so he thought that this group might have heard of some great world events.
Yeah, because you have the look of a wise one, so you're probably smart.
Yeah, you know.
You probably know stuff.
You know some stuff.
Yeah.
And these events might herald this guy.
He who comes with the dawn.
That one.
Yeah.
And Varen goes, a man? What are the signs?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are the signs?
What are they?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'll know them when I see them.
Yeah. That's like not helpful at all. So.
Yep. But turns out this guy will be marked, and he will come from the west, but be of Aiel blood, and he will go to the
Ruidian. Yep.
and lead us out of the threefold land. And then Urian draws a circle with a sinuous line through the center in the dirt with the end of his spear, and says, under this sign, he will conquer.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's the Aes Sedai symbol.
And then Varen is like, oh shit, and quickly
Gonna rub that out with my
scrapes
foot.
the drawing away with her foot, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ingtar frowns, like he clearly doesn't get it, but Perrin and Matt both know that this is
Yeah.
the symbol of the Aes Sedai.
Whoa.
And Varen goes, nope, can't help you, bud.
Haven't heard anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, so
Yeah.
Urian leaves to continue his search.
Yeah.
Okay, bye then.
So let's talk about this.
Okay,
The Aiel are coming out,
yeah,
and they're looking for he who comes with the dawn
okay,
to lead them out of the threefold land.
yes.
Under the symbol of the Aes Sedai.
Isn't that the prophecy of why some women who get pregnant and like don't know the father
There we go.
give their babies away?
You're
or
on the right
something?
track, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the maidens of the spear. So any child that's born to a maiden is given to a different woman to raise, so that no one knows who the child's mother is.
Okay, that's the thing. Okay.
Yeah, because it's prophesied that a child born of a maiden will unite the clans and return the Aiel to the greatness they knew during the Age of Legends.
Okay.
So it sounds really similar to the whole, like, we're going to come out and reclaim our lost territories.
Yes.
But it also, one of the big things from this chapter is that the Aes Sedai, in what Urian was saying, is if they ever fail the Aes Sedai again, they'll all be killed.
Yeah.
So that implies there was a first failing of the Aiel.
Right.
So.
Okay. Now, I'm just thinking about all of the things that Rand has to do.
Sure.
There's a lot of things Rand has to do.
He has a lot to do.
He's got to go all over the world.
He does.
So, I wrote a list.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm excited for this list.
Okay, so he has to, first thing he has to do is proclaim himself as the dragon over the Watchers over in the West.
Okay.
Like Tom and
Is that kind of like declaring bankruptcy where you just yell it? I declare I'm the dragon reborn.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the prophecy is he's going to do that over the Watchers.
Okay.
Right? That's the whole thing that
Yeah.
the Aes Sedai in the little grassy town.
Yep. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's something to do over there.
Okay.
Over west.
Okay. Yeah. He also has to go get the sword that's not a sword.
Yep. From the stone.
In the great stone thingy.
Tyr.
In Tyr.
Yep.
So, like, that's south.
Yep.
So then, apparently he has to also go get the Aiel and, like, set them free.
Okay. So, are you saying that Rand is...
Yes, this is Rand.
He who comes with the dawn
yeah.
is Rand?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're
just like...
Well, there's no one else.
We just literally just got introduced to this topic just now.
Just now.
And we haven't, like, talked any further about it.
Well, he's going to conquer under the sign.
Yeah.
The Aes Sedai sign, and Rand is that going to be the male half of the Aes Sedai.
Okay. Yeah.
So... It's
he's
the only thing that makes sense. So he's the guy.
It's not like Matt or Perrin?
No, and he's also the one who was born to a Maiden of the Spear, but then, like, she died before he could be given...
On Dragon Mount?
Yeah,
so, okay.
yeah. So probably that's that.
Gotcha.
And also, he'll be of our blood, but come from the West. Like...
Rand's from the West?
Like, what other Aiel...
We haven't met any yet, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So he has to go do that. And then plus, he also has to go to Shale Ghul and spill a bunch of blood over there on a rock.
Oh, jeez.
And then he also has to battle the Dark One.
Well, that probably comes last, though.
In the last battle.
Yeah.
And then I said, good thing that there's 12 more books.
Jeez, yeah.
There's so much to do. So many places to go.
It's just going to be like a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cinematic shots of him walking over mountains and...
I don't know. What if he learns how to use the portal stones better?
That would probably make the journey faster.
Yeah, but dangerous.
Maybe. It wasn't that like, all things considered, the portal stones...
I guess it depends where he goes.
Unless there's more like Grom showing up with Selene in all the portal stones.
Ugh.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that was the only dangerous thing about the portal stone.
That's true.
From what we saw. Like, there's a bunch of hypothetical...
Yeah, he could go to a world where it's really dangerous.
Go to a water level in Mario and not be ready for it.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a lot of things.
Okay. Anything else on the checklist? Cause...
That's it that I could think of off the top of my head while I was writing my notes.
Yeah, sure. That's good.
Are there more? He also has to do something with this horn.
Right, the Horn of Valir seems pretty important.
Yeah, but does he have to actually go to Ilion? Like, I have no idea.
He should just, like, hold on to it, right? Maybe?
I have no idea.
Put it on your belt?
I actually want him to get rid of it.
Okay.
I don't want him to have it
anymore. Throw it in the ocean or, like, give it to somebody?
Give it to someone.
Okay.
Okay, so now the Shinarians are super pissed off that they have wasted time talking to the dumb Aiel.
Yeah.
And they will have to ride even harder now. But first, they have to put all of their armor on the pack horses because they are in Cairhien now.
All right, so they got here.
And they don't want to look like they want to fight.
Yes, probably a good idea.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Especially now that we've met some of these Cairhien men. Like
Cairhien men. Okay, yeah.
Like they are poised to think everyone's an enemy. So
yeah, the whole Game of Houses thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then Matt asks Perrin if he thinks it could be Rand. And Perrin says, I don't know, man. Everything's so crazy.
It's crazy, man. Dave's not here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Varen says, it must be a part, yet how? Does the Wheel of Time weave threads into the pattern of which we know nothing? Or does the Dark One touch the pattern again?
Ooh, okay.
And then we end.
Well, we kind of know, like, the whole Dark One touched the pattern before when he, like, escaped or whatever. So, but here's a couple questions, because Varen, we know that Varen knows a bunch of stuff. But we also know that, like, her information isn't, infallible because all these characters don't know everything that we see. So do you think that Varen assumes that Rand is this person?
Yeah.
because when Urian asked, have you seen any signs or portents, she's like, nope, haven't seen anything to help you point the direction to where he is.
Yeah.
She's under the code of, like, I said I can't lie, but she, like, also doesn't know what the signs are, so it's justified saying, yeah, I don't know what your signs are.
It doesn't say she can't lie. It just says that she must speak the truth.
Yeah, tell no word that is not true.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like the whole, like, twisting of... But that's what I'm saying. So she clearly doesn't want to give up any info to the Aiel guy, and then she's also scratching out that Aes Sedai symbol so that none of the Shienarans can see it.
Right.
So what's
Not
up with...
that Ingtar even really knew what that was.
Yeah. Like, nobody can really seem to put together the fact that the Flame of Tar-Valon and the Dragon's Fang go together pretty nicely.
Yeah, nobody's seen that before.
We're just going to not talk about that.
Okay, so I just looked up the exact words that Varen uses to say, nope, don't know. So at first she says, I cannot tell you where he is, which...
That's fair.
That is not an outright lie, because she also doesn't know where Rand is, so I can't tell you where he is.
Yeah.
But then she says, I have heard of no signs or portents to guide you to him.
Yeah.
Which sounds like an outright lie if the signs are the dragon, the horn, the things that I would think are
super obvious,
great world events that are happening right now.
But to be fair, like Urian has not, he said, he who comes with the dawn, it's very different terminology. So like we're assuming that this person and the dragon is the same, but it's not definitive.
Yeah, but he's looking for any great world events.
Yeah.
And it doesn't specifically say that he who comes with the dawn is the dragon reborn.
No, and that's...
I think that it's just like a coincidence that things are playing out like this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, is that's like the legal loophole that Varen can easily use to be like, nope, I don't know anything, without it like breaking the whole, I can't say anything that's not 100% true.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's just an easy way to worm around it.
All right.
But what's up with her scratching out the symbol?
She didn't want anyone to see it.
Just like sneaky?
Yeah.
Okay.
In case anyone does...
Like recognize it, I guess? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, chapter 29.
Yeah.
Seanchan. Okay.
Yes. So good.
There is a really funny picture.
Yes, there is.
It is some kind of bird creature wearing an octopus hat.
Yes. That's a perfect description. You got it.
Yeah.
There's a glossary definition, and that's what it is.
Cool.
Yeah, you got it right.
I didn't even know that.
There you go. Okay, so, but not actually.
Okay, so are you going to tell me what the picture actually is or no?
Yeah, you don't know what it is?
I actually don't know what it is.
After reading the chapter?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's the helmet. It's the bug helmet.
Oh, it's the helmet.
Yeah, it's the bug helmet and the mandibles and the little antennaes in a swirly whirly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the helmet.
Okay.
That's what they wear, and that's why they look like monsters.
Yeah, got it.
You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sort of. Not really, but that's okay. Okay, so first, though, we get Jeffrem Bornhold.
Yeah.
And I just said,
what?
Why the hell not? At this point, okay.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Why not? So, this was so confusing. I really had to learn my geography.
Yes, this is a test.
I do not know my geography for that side of the world at all.
Yeah.
I know Eridaman, Terabon, Almouth Plain, Tommen Head. I know all of these names.
Yeah.
And I just picture them over on the west. And I've never had to actually look at them until now.
You've fallen into the trap of only familiarizing yourself with your part of the world.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So, halfway through this chapter, I had to stop reading this chapter and come back to it later and start again.
Yeah.
And then start taking the notes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to draw out the map to get my... Because I'm so visual that I needed to actually physically know where everything is.
And it's funny because in this chapter, it's actually important where things are.
It really is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So, if I say things wrong in this chapter, then just correct me.
I will do my best.
Because I am 100% going to say things wrong.
Okay.
Because I really don't understand.
Yeah.
So...
Like the helmet thing.
Yeah. Well, that's different. Okay. So, I really tried hard, though. So, I hope I do okay. So, Bornhold is in Almouth Plain.
Yes.
Which is the, kind of no man's land between Terabon and Eridaman.
Yes.
Terabon's south, Eridaman's north.
Yes.
Almouth Plain's in the middle.
Yep.
And this is always being fought over.
Yes, it's like the no man's land that nobody really claims, but
Except
there's
now,
villages.
like, the White Cloaks and Questioners are here.
Yeah.
And they're kind of trying to take it over or something.
They're murdering people.
Yeah, well, the Questioners are.
Yeah.
So, Bornhold has sort of had to hand over his authority to the Questioners, who are, like, kind of in charge over here. And we got that, I think, when we heard from Bornhold the first time.
We did.
But now it's, like, solidified what's actually been going on here.
Because Pedro Nile sent him here, and then
Yes.
he has to follow the directions of the Questioners,
Yes.
and he doesn't like Questioners.
No, because the Questioners right now are basically just taking Almath Plain over for themselves, basically just, like, raiding and killing villages and, like, clearing the place out.
And not just the men, but the women and the children, too.
Yeah, I know.
It's
your
funny,
favorite,
but it's
your favorite saying.
well,
Like,
it applies so often here. But, killing children, not cool.
No, don't do it.
Yeah.
You can quote me on that. Don't do it.
You can quote me. Don't
kill children.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So
I'm okay with going on the record for that.
Yeah. Okay. So there are some prisoners from the Terabon army who have been hung in this village, and they were just, like, left there to, like, I don't know, send a message.
Not from the army
The
necessarily.
Terabon.
It's from the village.
Oh,
People in the village have been hung.
okay, and there are prisoners from the Terabon army?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was so confusing, this part, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We'll clear it up. So, Bornhold is pissed and is like, cut them down, because don't do that.
Yep.
Because there's, like, children just, like, hanging.
And it's like, small applaud for Bornhold and Bayer for being shocked at the whole don't kill children
Well,
thing.
Bayer's only, like, medium shocked.
Yeah, he's like they could be dark friends, but probably not.
Yeah.
So, like, but yeah.
But Jeffrey Bornhold is, like, the least terrible of all the White Cloaks, I think. So
Still an asshole. Let's
Yeah.
let's not just let him off the hook completely,
No.
but he's like the best out of the assholes.
yeah, it's like he, like, joined the White Cloaks because he, like, actually thought the message was like, yeah, I actually don't like dark friends.
Yeah.
And then he, like, got himself caught up in this
He's in way too
society and he, like, can't get out.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
deep. Poor guy.
Yeah. So there's this scary looking guy called Maud,
Yeah.
and for some stupid reason there's an H
And a U before the A.
after the
Yeah.
D. There's an H at the end, which is stupid because that's not how you spell anything.
But it's fantasy.
So there's always random H's.
Exactly.
I think
we had a conversation
I know,
about this.
early on.
Yeah.
Just, like, super random H's, throw them in, why not? And this Maud says that this is the Questioner's work.
Yes.
Basically.
So he's being super sneaky about it, though.
Yeah, he's like,
He's not-
these
yeah.
people who sort of look like these guys did this.
Yeah.
And Bornhold's like, yeah, the Questioners.
Yeah.
So these guys, okay, now never mind. I wrote, these prisoners died, but others are being held, ? But those weren't prisoners, those were the villagers.
Yeah, like the villagers got murdered by the White Cloaks, and the leftover of the army is like there
Which is
too.
actually way worse, because there are people in this village, like the innkeeper,
Yep.
who are still alive in this village.
Yes.
And have to see people that they know and love, like, hung.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
This
so
is
the
bad. This is really bad.
You don't have to like the White Cloaks or the Questioners or the White Cloaks or the Questioners.
That's bad. That's worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of
Okay.
funny because, well, and I shouldn't use the word funny here, but anyways, it's interesting because when Bornhold's coming in, he's like, is this you doing this or is this the Seanchan doing this? And it's like, no, it's neither.
It's the Questioners.
our own guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then so Bornhold wants to talk to one of the prisoners,
yeah.
and then he goes to the inn to wait for this guy to be brought to him.
Yeah.
So we learn that there are invaders here, and he calls them strangers.
Yes.
But we learn that they call themselves Seanchan.
Yes, and I got a glossary definition for you because of what we learn later on this chapter. I'm okay with giving it to you now.
Okay, so it's time for glossary definitions with Brett.
Yeah, so Seanchan, 1, they're the descendants of the armies of Arthur Hawkwing sent across the Arth Ocean who have returned to reclaim the lands of their forefathers. And then 2, Seanchan is the land, it's the name of the land where the Seanchan come from.
Yes.
So it's like a continent.
Yeah,
so.
and we get that.
Yeah. But it's kind of really neat that we can tie a bunch of things together now, knowing that the Seanchan are a real people.
Yes.
Archer Hawkwing did send his, people across. They were never heard from again.
And they clearly found somewhere.
They found somewhere. They did pretty well from what it seems like, and now they're back to take over Randland again.
Yes.
So.
And they call themselves those who come before, or Forerunners,
yes.
or Ryagel.
Yeah, so
or
just
those who come home and speak of Koren or the return. There's lots. And then I just wrote glossary definition here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you already did that. So.
Yeah, well, the whole point about all those definitions is Bornhold gets them all, but we can kind of piece together what that means. Because if there are those who come before or the Forerunners, and then there's the homecomers, it's like there's the precursor, like the people who are here now, and then there's the main guys coming.
And then there's the return. Yeah.
Which is everyone coming on back.
Yes.
So this is just like the first wave.
Yeah, and right now, no one knows where they came from.
Yeah.
And apparently they've just like landed in ships and started invading.
Yeah.
And so men who brought monsters into battle and Aes Sedai to rend the earth under their enemies' feet.
Yeah.
And it's like these crazy stories.
They ride monsters, they fight with monsters, they have
are
Aes Sedai,
monsters.
they are monsters with the bug helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So at this point, though, Bayer comes in with another white cloak instead of the prisoner. And then I said, but I guess he's not really a white cloak because he's not wearing a white cloak.
He is a white cloak.
I know that.
Yeah, okay.
I was just making a funny point because he doesn't wear the white cloak.
Yes. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, because he's in a Domani cloak. And then I had a question about if Domani are people from Ered Domen.
Yes,
okay.
That is correct. And this chapter is going to get worse because there's Baal Domen.
Yes.
There's Ered Domeners, which are the Domani, and there's the Damani.
Oh, yeah,
which
the Damani.
come later.
Yeah, I
So,
know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. So.
Those from Ered Domen.
Yeah, okay. So this guy is Child Gerald, who just wrote in with a message from
Jacob Carradine.
Yep.
We heard of him last time.
That guy.
Yeah.
Who's a questioner.
Yeah.
And the message for Bornhall is to stop getting so close to Tom and Head, which is like the coastal.
Yeah, that's
country?
where the Seanchan are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And move back to the middle of Almouth Plain and raid more villages and rout out more Dark Friends there.
Yes. Now, this is a weird plan because Bornhold is like, there's a bunch of villagers and farmers and like medicine women here. There's not Dark Friends.
But then Bayer's like, no, I bet there's Dark Friends. Let's go get those Dark Friends.
Yeah, let's get them.
Let's get them.
Yeah.
And Bornhold's like, no, idiot.
I don't want to go kill villagers. Like, he's not into that.
No.
So.
And so Bornhold goes, no thanks. And he sends Gerald away and says, I'll have messages for you to send when you leave.
Yeah.
Like, go get something to eat, go get washed up. But he doesn't really say anything in front of Gerald. So when he leaves, this is when dumb Bayer's like, they're probably right. And Bornhold's like, no, you idiot. There's no Dark Friends here in these villages. These questioners are up to something and I don't care for it. They have us out of our white cloaks, number one. They have the children in Ered Domen wearing Terabon cloaks, and they have the children in Terabon wearing Domani cloaks. Something fishy's going on here.
Well, and consider the fact that about Maud, when he's like, who did this? Yeah. Maud's like, hey, it was the children wearing these cloaks.
Yes.
So the questioners are sending their guys into the other country wearing the other country's cloaks and killing a bunch of villagers.
Yeah. Fishy.
Bad. And also, not cool.
No.
Don't kill children.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
And so that's really just getting the Domani and the Teraboners more pissed off with each other.
Yeah, so.
And so Bornhold just says that he is set on going to Tom and Head and finding out about these invaders. They're the true Dark Friends, the Seanchan, and I'm going to find out what's going on there, and I'm not listening to these dumb fucking questioners.
Yeah, and one question I have for you, because we get here Bornhold's like, the Seanchan are the real Dark Friends. What's your take on the whole, the Seanchan being Dark Friends? Think about it, because I want to talk about that later.
I don't think so.
But are they all bad guy Dark Friends?
No.
No? Okay. Hold it and think on it, and once we get into this more...
I don't need to think about it.
So you're saying no?
No, I like them.
You like them?
Yeah,
oh my
I
goodness.
really
Okay.
like them.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into it. I was
Yeah.
going to ask you if it's bad that I really like them.
Depends on your views of,
I like them. I mean, like, there are some things that I don't love.
like the slavery.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, but you glaze over that, so.
I like them, though. I think they're really cool, and I want to know more about them.
Yeah. So the whole Roman Empire thing, pretty relevant. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So.
I like the Romans. Okay, anyway, so at this point, Bayer looks troubled, and then Maud brings in the prisoner, and Bornhold starts to question him, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Boom, scene change.
Before we scene change, do you have any thoughts on the questioner's plan? Like, why are they murdering villagers dressed as the other country's men?
Well, I think that they
what's the
want
plan
there
here?
to be some, actual war, and then maybe then they can come in and be like, you're all clearly dark friends because you're, murdering each other, and we're going to come in and take over, and they're going to pretend to be, the nice guys or something.
Okay, so there's, a plan
So
within
there's obviously
a
a plan and
Okay.
a ploy, and they just want... I don't know. But
Yeah.
also, we heard about 100% that there's a questioner who is a dark friend.
We do know that.
And so it might be part of some...
Dark Friend scheme?
Dark friend Baalzamon plan.
Okay.
Because I also meant to, and I haven't yet,
Yep.
but I need to go back to the prologue.
Yep, we're going to do that once we get into the whole Seanchan stuff.
Okay, because I got to read what Bors's
Yes. Vision.
instructions
instructions
were,
and visions. So.
because they might make more sense now
Yeah.
than they did then. So, okay. But now we get a scene change.
Yeah, back to our favorite pirate captain, Baal Doman.
Well, that's funny, because I said, oh, good, everyone's favorite riverboat captain.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The maybe not dark friend.
Yeah, no.
Probably not, though.
No.
Okay.
Definitely no. That was, put it on the bad prediction board.
Okay.
I can admit defeat sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, last we left Daman, he was down in Ilion. He was trying to get paid to go to Mayen, but then was like, nope, I'm going to go over to the west.
Because he's going to get murdered.
Yeah, but then his crew was like, isn't there a big war going on over there? And he's like, we'll find work to do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, now it matters.
Now it matters.
Yeah.
So, update. He made it to the Arth Ocean.
Yeah.
And he's been trading, up and down Tommen Head and Terrebonne.
Yeah, and Tanchico, and he's bought in fireworks, and we know that's where one of the chapter houses are.
Ah, I did know that. That's something I remembered.
I mean, we just talked about Tanchico last chapter with the whole fireworks and the illuminators.
I don't remember those things.
Yeah, there's a chapter house in Kyrian
Yeah.
and Tanchico.
And that's it?
That's
Just two?
The two chapter houses for the illuminators that we know of.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So right now they are sailing the Spray on the ocean, and they are being pursued by a much bigger ship, and Baal Daman really wants to avoid this, and he tries to sail closer to the shore where the big ship won't be able to sail.
Yeah.
And he can tell that it's a Seanchan ship.
Yep. Seanchan ship.
Yep.
There you go.
And he has heard a bunch of stories in the local villages of these invaders and how they have monsters, and some are monsters, and doing all sorts of crazy things like having lightning rain down and setting fire to the earth and making all the local people swear oaths to avoid dying, and then stealing their women. All the bad stuff.
Yeah, but specifically young women taken to be examined, and some are carried away and never seen again, and then some old women and healers are taken too.
Yep.
So very specific.
Yes. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Sure.
So the people have been made to swear to obey the forerunners, await the return, and serve those who come.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So these Seanchan.
Yeah, just like
Sean
Sean Chen.
Sean Chen.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kind of like Shawshank.
No, don't
Like
say
Redemption?
that, because then I'm really...
It's just Sean Chan.
No. Don't say other things. I'll figure it out. So they're holding up in Falme.
Yeah. Falma.
Falme. Okay.
Falm.
Which is in Tommen Head.
Yes, that's like the westernmost tip.
So that's a city in the country of Tommen Head.
It's like on the it's like the main big city on the coast.
And it's like a port city almost.
Yeah.
It's got a big port, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Daman has no intention of meeting any Seanchan if he can avoid it. And I just wrote, well, there you have it. He's about to meet some Seanchan.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, as
You
soon
can't
as
avoid it.
you can't say something like that in a Robert Jordan book and then not meet those people.
Yeah. I mean, if he was going to not meet them, that would be a pretty boring chapter.
Yeah.
Just like a slow boat pursuit that never results in being
Yeah, I really
caught.
thought it was going to be more of a pursuit thing
Okay.
than it is.
Yeah, it's not.
It turned out differently than I expected.
Because turns out when you have women who can channel on board your ship,
Shit.
you can make people stop moving.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what they do. So Damin is busy trying to get a ship like far over to avoid the other ship, and then a fountain of water and flames erupt out of the water in front of him and behind him and to the sides of him.
Yeah.
So he has no choice but to stop and let them catch up.
Yeah. So, okay. You
Yeah.
know, that's a pretty smart decision, too.
Yeah, I have to hand it to Damin. He plays it right.
He plays it pretty cool. Yeah, he does.
He does everything, I think, the way he should be doing things.
Yeah.
He's getting himself in situations, but it could have gone way worse for him
He could be dead.
if he didn't have like the wherewithal to know how to sort of talk and act.
Yeah. I mean, it also helps that the Seanchan act as they do. Like, the Seanchan are not there to kill everyone.
Yeah.
They're there to kill some people and instill their own, people into command
Yeah.
and basically get your loyalty, but they don't want to kill everyone.
Yeah. So the other ship now puts a boat down in the water and rows over to them under 10 oars. And all the people on board are armored, and there are 2 young women crouched in the front of the boat. And the first to climb up on the spray is an armored man in crazy, elaborate red and black and gold armor with a crazy sword and a crazy helmet that looks like a big insect head.
But that's important because now we have to go back to the prologue.
Now we do.
We have to now.
Okay, so in the prologue, when the man who calls himself Bors is getting his orders.
Yep.
Okay.
So his first order is to return to Terabon and continue his good works.
Yeah.
Second order is to watch for the 3 boys.
Yep.
And then the third, it says, regarding those who have landed at Tommen Head and the Domani. So that's the Seanchan he's talking about and the Air Dominers.
Yep.
Of this you will speak to no one when you return to Terabon, ... And then we don't get anything else there. But then he gets those visions.
Yes.
A flash of visions, bunch of stuff happens, and specifically one is an armored man in a brutal helm, shaped and painted and gilded like some monstrous, poisonous insect, raised a sword and plunged to one side beyond his view. So it's just interesting that he gets that vision of the bug helmet that we see now in the Seanchan chapter.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It is the same.
So Beelzemon clearly has some hand in this Seanchan invasion somehow.
That is really interesting.
Yes.
Because I don't know if this, we are about to learn it's actually a woman, if she's the only one with this helmet, but it doesn't really seem that way.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, because in the city there's like more of them, so.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, this is my upcoming favorite sentence in probably the book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It turns out it's a woman.
Yeah, he was a woman.
Yeah.
He's just like Damon's shock. He's flabbergasted at this.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And anyways, this woman surveys the ship and then asks him if there are any women on board or in his crew. And she like speaks in this like weird slurring accent.
Yeah.
And Damin notices that the 2 women are coming up from the boat being drawn by a leash of silvery metal. And one woman in a plain dress with a collar on, and it's linked to the other woman's bracelets, and that woman wears a fancier dress with like red panels and lightning bolts.
Yes.
Okay, so the lady in the armor gets really mad at Damin because she can't understand him and wants him to speak slower.
Yeah, and like she can't talk better. Like
No.
she's just as bad as he is.
Yeah, but it's his fault that she can't understand him.
Well, when you're in charge, I guess, like that makes sense.
Exactly. And so she says that she doesn't claim to be of the blood, not yet, after Corrine, ... And then she says her name is Captain...
Ageenan.
Ageenan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that whole like of the blood thing kind of sounds like Seanchan nobility.
Yeah, maybe.
But it seems like, she has plans for like after the Karina.
Being
Then,
part of the blood somehow.
Yeah, getting like a promotion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And Daman says that he is just a peaceful trader and doesn't want to get involved here. And Eginin can tell that he is looking at these like chained up women.
Which is fair.
And she says, "Oh, you admire my demane?"
Yeah, Damani.
Which is different than the domani.
Yes, and different from Domon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she says that she cost me dear, but worth every coin. Few but nobles own one, and they're mostly property of the throne.
Yeah.
And this one she is a strong one.
Yeah, she's a good one.
Yeah.
So, first impressions on the whole like collared woman thing. Did you have any initial thoughts on that?
It sounds bad.
Okay. Well, it sounds bad for the woman being chained.
Yeah.
It sounds really helpful and useful for the Seanchan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a woman who can blow up a ship,
Yep.
it's a pretty good tool.
Sounds that way.
But I have some glossary definitions for you.
I thought you might.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's like italicized, so.
Yeah, okay. And, I did go read the glossary.
Yeah, so.
I did. I was like, what is this? And so I went and I looked for this one.
Yeah, and it does kind of help clarify some things, so.
Okay. So it is time for glossary definitions with Brett.
Yeah, so Damani. In the old tongue, it means leashed ones. Women who can channel, who are held prisoner by Adam and used by the Seanchan for many purposes, chiefest of these being as weapons in battle.
Right.
And then the Adam is a device consisting of a collar and a bracelet linked by a silvery metal leash that may be used to control against her will any woman who can channel. The collar is worn by the Damani, the bracelet by the Suldam. And then the Suldam is a woman who has passed the tests to show that she can wear the bracelet of an Adam and thus control a Damani.
And get the fancy lightning dress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely is slavery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Daman is just so taken back by this. And he goes, is she an Aes Sedai? And then before he knows it, he's backhanded so hard across the face that his lip splits open.
Yeah, so she books it like.
Oh, yeah.
just
Well,
in
and
the
she's
face.
wearing these like gauntlets too, right? So I just assumed that he like got rocked across the face.
Yeah.
And she says that name is never spoken. This is a Damani, the leashed ones.
Yeah. So there seems to be a certain distaste for Aes Sedai.
You could say that, yep.
And that kind of makes sense because we know that Archer Hawkwing had a really strong issue with Aes Sedai.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently
Which-
it was Beelzebub whispering on his shoulder
Yeah.
to hate the Aes Sedai.
It does seem that way. So yeah.
Interesting.
Hey.
Hey,
Good
I
on-
remembered something.
You did, yeah. But that all kind of makes sense why, they wouldn't like Aes Sedai.
And why they would use them as, like, slaves.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Because instead of just killing them all, why don't we use their powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Archer Hawkwing, he was trying to like tear down the White Tower and didn't make it through, but he tried.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Daman is so pissed off here, but he really has to hold it together. And he just says, like, no offense meant, just ignorance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know your ways.
And again, good on him for like keeping his cool here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
again, he doesn't want to get murdered, so
Yeah.
makes sense that he does.
Yeah.
So.
But she says that they are all ignorant and will pay the debt of their forefathers. This land was theirs and will be again with the return. So then she tells him that he has to sail his ship to Falma,
Falma?
and he knows that there is no use protesting, and his ship will be examined, and he will be free to go basically once he takes the oath to obey, wait, and serve.
Yeah, I'll take the oath if that means I can leave.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So everyone leaves off the spray except for one guy who like sits there cross-legged just like sharpening his sword.
Like, that's pretty confident.
I was going to say power move.
Yeah, 100%
So, like,
is.
sit there sharpening your sword.
Yeah.
It's like Bornhold when he's
Trimming his fingernails.
Trimming his fingernails with his dagger.
Yeah.
Power move.
Yeah, and he's like, I have no idea why this
makes-
intimidates people.
yeah.
But it's like, hey, man, because they don't want you to stab them in the eye with your knife.
Yeah, because
that
you're
might-
being very cavalier with
Yeah.
that sharp, pokey thing
Yeah.
that can hurt me.
After I just had a bunch of my villagers hung in the middle of the square.
Yeah.
Like,
So, this guy's name is Kaban.
yep.
And Daman gets him to talk a little bit, and then he makes the mistake of asking about the Damane,
Yep.
and he gets a sword to his throat and told to shut up and not talk about that.
Yeah, and he does it a little bit playfully. You know, he smiles during it,
Oh,
but
he thinks it's hilarious.
yeah, like, but hey, keep your nose out of that business.
Oh, yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah. So they get to Falme, and Daman is shocked at how many Seanchan ships there are here.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister.
Yep. There are tons.
Tons.
So many.
Hundreds.
Hundreds of ships.
And keep in mind, these are the forerunners.
Right. The ones who come before.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones who return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's probably more.
Right. And then we get that over one of the high cliffs, Daman spots a cage hung over the edge with a man sitting in it.
Yeah, and you
it-
noticed the name of the towers?
No?
The Watchers Over the Waves?
Oh, yes.
Because that was in the prophecy from earlier.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently this is a first watcher, and every time one in the cage dies, they just replace him with another.
Yeah, as punishment.
Turns out they watched for the wrong thing
Whoops.
and forgot what they should have been remembering.
Keeping in mind that Archer Hawkwing's been gone for quite a while.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, like 1,000.
Like literally 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
so these
man.
people are being like super punished for something that they had no idea about.
You can like
What
them.
are they watching for? The Watchers Over the Waves are watching for the return of Archer Hawkwing's ancestors, I
Yes.
thought.
Yeah.
But that's what they were watching for.
No.
Oh.
No, the people of Falma have no clue who these people are. They don't know that they're supposed to be watching for the return. Like, everyone in Randland has forgotten who Archer Hawkwing is. Nobody believes that these are actually the
they're
armies.
the Watchers Over the Waves, but they forgot that they were supposed to be watching for people?
Yeah, for the return of Archer Hawkwing's
Oh,
armies.
they forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what they've
I
forgotten.
didn't know that they forgot that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and if you look at every perspective we've had, everyone's like, who are these strangers?
Yeah.
Are they couldn't
The
possibly
invaders.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Even
no one
Daman-
knows.
Even Daman this whole time is like, not that nattering about Archer Hawkwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the Archer Hawkwing armies come back, they're pretty arrogant, granted.
Yeah.
But they're like, you didn't look, you should be praising us and like licking our boot heels
We're
pretty
back.
much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you're being punished for it.
Yeah, but, you know, Daman thinks I'm a traitor, and that's none of my business.
Yeah. Keep
and
your head down.
So, yeah, as he pulls into the dock, Aginin
Yep.
and her Damane
Damani.
come in as well, and
It's
this,
a new...
yeah, this time there's a different woman wearing the bracelet.
Yeah, and those are called Suldam.
Okay, and she's got the fancy lightning dress though.
Yes, that's the Suldam. Yeah.
Yeah. So he sits on the dock and basically waits for the two of them to go through the contents of his ship. And I just keep thinking about all of his like collectible crap
Yeah.
and
in his giant hidden
how
wall.
it's for sure gonna be found.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no question.
No question.
Considering it's not a tiny little cubby hole,
Yeah.
it's like a big
The
piece
wall.
of his... Yeah.
Yeah, that's the wall.
It's got
And
a tiger
so-
skull in there.
Oh yeah, he does. So as he sits there and waits, a thing appears on the dock.
Yep,
A
drum roll,
big
please.
frog-like bear thing with like a wedge-shaped head with 3 eyes.
Yeah.
And I just went, oh my god, a Grom!
It's a Grom.
Oh my god. I
Wow.
wonder what they're called here, though. I wonder if they're still called Grom.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
here's a question. Who have we met so far who has access to Grom and also has a large contempt for Aes Sedai?
Celine? No. I don't think so.
No what?
She's not Seanchan.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Not
No.
Seanchan?
No. These things are clearly from, like, ages past.
Okay,
Like,
the Grom?
Yeah. Like, time from, like, the Age of Legends and stuff. And
But
if...
how are they here?
because they went over with the Archer Hawkwing descendants,
Okay.
right? Because he sent his sons or
But
something.
that's
out.
not the breaking. Keep in mind, the breaking happened 3,000 years ago, and Archer Hawkwing's armies was 1,000.
Yeah. But those Grom and stuff were probably all wandering around for thousands of years. And then the Archer Hawkwing stuff happened, and they probably took a bunch of Grom with them
Okay.
over there.
Yep.
And then they died out over here,
Okay.
and they still have them over there.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the other world
Yep.
of the Portal Stone,
Portal Stone world, yeah.
that's like what could have been.
Okay.
And if Archer Hawkwing didn't win,
then they'd still be roaming around in Randland.
then they'd still be roaming around and wouldn't have died out there.
Okay, I like the theory. That's pretty well constructed.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, considering like none of that was planned.
No,
so-
I just completely made all of that up in my head.
But it follows. It's good so far.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You don't compliment my theories very often, so...
Well, when you have a good one, it had to happen eventually, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just don't buy that she's a Seanchan. Like, no way. No. So I had to come up with something else. Okay. So the guy who's with this beast seems to lead it with hand signals. A trained Grom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also trained.
The only reason I think that maybe this is a monster sort of like that used to be here and went over with them
Yeah.
is because there's like another weirdo monster too. A different animal.
There is. Yeah.
So there's like more than one. It's not just Grom.
The giant cat thing, lizard.
Yeah. And
Giant
I
cat
really don't
lizard.
think that the Seanchan have any idea about like portal stones and have anything to do with like the oneness. Like, X your theory and trying to throw me off because no.
I'm providing alternative facts.
Well, they're bad facts.
So-
So, okay. Eventually, Againin comes out with something wrapped in yellow silk held in both her hands. And my theory,
Yeah.
as I was reading, was this is either the disc
Yeah.
or the Angriel.
Oh, okay. The little man.
Yes.
Yeah.
The man, the darkened ivory
Yeah.
Angriel thing.
Yeah.
And so Daman is like, see, I'm just a traitor. And she's like, yeah, come with me. And so they head into Falme, and he notes that there are a lot of local people here for a city held by invaders. And he sort of mentions this to Againin, and she says, these are our people now. They have sworn the oaths. And there's even a guy walking by like with a sword, and she stops one of them and basically is like, hey, do you want to use that sword against me?
Yeah, that was like a
And
total
he's like,
power move.
And he's like, no, of course not. No,
No,
never,
I'm with
not
you
never.
guys,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she's like, see, they can defend themselves against like other traders and merchants and stuff.
But like totally right about the whole Roman thing, right? Because it's a power move.
Yep.
They're not going to be like, why would you fight back against these monsters and the monster people and the other monsters?
Yep.
And
Speaking
the Demani?
of which, along the way, they see another crazy monster animal.
Yeah.
Some horse-sized cat lizards with claws.
Much scarier than the cat-sized horse.
Yeah.
Those ones did not make the cut for the army.
Yeah. So they get to a big old house thing outside this city. Falme, like they get to the outskirts kind of.
Yeah,
It's
like
there.
further in, whatever.
And then outside that house is a banner of a golden hawk.
Yeah,
Makes sense?
reminiscent of Hawkwing.
Yep. So Daman gets that they are here to see a High Lord, and they head into a big room, and a gong sounds, and Againin drops down to her knees in like a bow, and Daman does the same, quite unhappily.
Yep. But, you know,
But he
follow-
does
follow
it.
suit.
Good for him. And we get told that they are in the presence of High Lord Turek, who leads those who come before and succors the return.
Yes.
And I learned what the word succors means.
Yeah, to help.
Yeah. To
Yeah.
aid or whatever.
Yeah.
To aid in something.
Those who come before are making sure that the return goes smoothly.
Yep.
So
Cool.
when the rest of the people from Seanchan come,
Yep.
that it's all good.
Yep. Daman even has a thought at one point about how, like, what's going to stop these people from just walking all the way to the spine of the world.
Yeah, I mean, okay, granted, so Falma and Doman and Terrebonne are already like not the best cities. Like they're in constant kind of flux.
But if these people tried to get into like Andor,
there's not a lot. Like, are they really going to be able to stop? But who knows,
there's
right?
like an entire royal army though.
There is that, and that's what I'm saying.
That's the difference.
And then
they're
like
more organized.
yeah, so it's really just a matter of can they actually fight back or get organized enough to fight against? Because that's the one thing that the Seanchan seem to have going for them right now is they are taking over and then incorporating those people into their army.
Right.
So the question is like, are the Terrebonners and the Dominers and all that, the Domani, are they going to fight against like Andor? If it comes to that, that's like the ultimate move here, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, here Aegeanin stands up and Daman goes to as well, but then he's basically just like shoved back down. And the High Lord says, "Your name is Aegeanin," and she replies by saying, "I was so named on my sword day." And then he says, "This is a fine specimen, quite rare. Do you wish payment?" And she goes, "If you're happy, I'm happy."
Yeah, she'll get paid in exposure dollars.
Yeah, and then she says, "I live to serve." And he says that he will mention her name to the Empress, and after the return, new names will be called to blood. So show yourself fit, and you may shed your name for a hire.
Yes.
Interesting. So.
And then my favorite part, you honor me, High Lord. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yes, I do honor you.
Yeah. And then she leaves.
Yep.
And then the High Lord tells Daman to stand, and Daman sees that the disc of Cuendiar,
yeah,
is that how you say that? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So the ancient seal of the Aes Sedai is in this guy's hands.
Yeah.
So that's what was found on his ship that, you know, is being brought over here now.
And now it's time to lie.
And Turek asks if Daman knows what this is, and Daman plays dumb.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, he says he kept it in a secret place because he's a collector and doesn't want it stolen, which isn't a lie. That's like an Aes Sedai lie.
Yeah, he's just not admitting that it's... I mean, he had a really bad experience with saying the word Aes Sedai, so you don't want to be like, that's an Aes Sedai seal.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And so Daman is told to follow him and another man, like maybe the guard guy.
Yeah.
And they head into another room where there's a cabinet, and inside the cabinet there are like 50 things, figurines, cups, bowls, vases. And then Turek sets the disc carefully beside its exact twin.
Okay.
And I went, oh my god, that's so crazy.
So here's the thing.
Oh no.
We know what those are. Those are seals for the Dark One's prison. And we also know how many there are.
7.
Yeah.
And one is broken.
One's broken. 2 are here now.
Yeah.
And the Amerlin Seat, the Watcher of the Seals,
doesn't know where they are.
Doesn't know where any of them are.
Yeah. And now Daman knows where 2 of them are.
Yeah. And like, why does High Lord Turak have a seal?
He likes to collect
of the Dark One's prison.
He likes to collect Cuendiar.
Yeah.
Only the Empress has such a fine collection as this. I wonder if she's got one.
Well, she might have like 3. Yeah. So that's like 6 right there. Oh my god.
Yeah, but all Daman can think about is how much money that is.
Yeah.
Because this stuff is worth so much.
And this guy's just like collecting.
Yeah. And so Daman gets a little ahead of himself here and says, "Please accept this as a gift. I'm just a trader, so please let me go now."
Yeah.
And the guard man just like erupts, yelling at Daman.
You dog.
Unshaven dog.
Oh, man.
Saying that he can't give something that's already been given.
You will be flayed alive over 9 days, dog.
And then he's silenced.
Yeah.
And Turk says that he can't allow Daman to leave, and he says that he can't find anyone to have a good conversation with around here, and maybe another collector will make for interesting conversation. And then Daman is like, no.
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything
sounds
about
bad.
Talking to great lords. And he's just ignored, and then some girl comes in the room holding a cup out for Turek.
And she's basically wearing see-through clothes.
See-through, completely.
Yep.
And Dom's like, oh my god. And this Turek is also drinking something called calf, which has a fantastic aroma.
It's steaming black liquid.
Coffee.
Yeah, it sounds like it, yeah.
And now he says that this Cuendiar is even more rare here than in Seanchan.
Interesting.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
That there's a bunch over there.
Yeah.
And he says, tell me how you came to possess this piece.
Okay.
And Daman takes a deep breath and sets up to lying his way out of Falme.
So
and
he's in deep.
And I think, I bet that doesn't go well.
Yeah, so, I mean, prediction time, ultimately.
Yeah, because this is the end of this chapter.
Yeah. This was a lot of new information.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got introduced to basically two new cultures. We have the Aiel in the first chapter, then the Seanchan here. And it's just a lot of heavy on the initial information.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so you were saying that you really like the Seanchan.
I do, actually.
Please tell us all why. Is it the slavery? Is it the conquering? Is it the murdering?
I like the
What?
It's the conquering.
Okay.
I like their conquering strategy.
Okay.
I think that they're smart.
They're smart and very well organized. Like, they have a good system.
Very well organized. I like that they have these captains who are women.
Okay.
So I like them for the same reason that I like the Aiel. Like, there's very little of the whole, like, good wife situation going on.
Yeah, from what we know.
So that is, like, already a positive for me.
Yeah.
Except for the whole women in slavery thing.
So a little asterisk beside that.
The only thing I can think about how that's not a negative is how smart it is. In this world, if you can take Aes Sedai and have her your prisoner and use her powers to your own advantage...
I gotta say, in a military strategy, it makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
So,
like, good for them. Like, it's bad for the women. Like, that's bad. Like, that sucks for these Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
But
from a military strategy standpoint, I get it. Like, I get why they would do that if they, if that's the plan.
Yeah,
especially being
like
raised
them.
with hating Aes Sedai. Like, they don't think that they're, people or whatever. Like, there's a whole bunch of morality issues.
There's a lot of stuff
we can talk about.
I just don't get the worst vibe from them.
So,
I don't know.
How do you think this side of the world is going to deal with the cultural differences with the Seanchan? Well, we have a white tower. We have a whole tower of women who channel, who try to control the world.
Yeah, I don't think that the Seanchan are quite ready for that.
To take them on head to head?
I don't think that they're aware, maybe necessarily, of there's like a whole bunch of Aes Sedai who are free and can fight against them.
But to be fair, when they left, Arthur Hawkwing was trying to fight so
maybe they think that they're gone, because they've been going into these villages and finding women who can channel, finding the healers, the wisdoms,
they've got a better recruiting strategy than Tar Valon.
I was actually going to say that they're actually doing a great job
of asked her to have slaves, but
yeah, they're doing a better job of
finding the women. Like, I get it,
using them poorly. Well, not to their advantage.
Not to their eyes, they're being very smart about it. But
no, I don't know.
A lot of fun stuff happens. The next couple of chapters, we're getting into like that final push.
You keep saying that. Ooh. You don't have to say it every time.
I do have to, though, because the next chapter, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And the chapter after that,
also good.
It's a good one. Yeah.
And I'm going to read 2.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing.
From now on till the end of this book, we're doing 2 chapters.
It's a lot more work and a lot longer episodes, but it'll be worth it.
And we have to finish this.
Yeah. This will just become the new normal. I'll just have to get over
that
it's a lot of work and just be like, this is how much work it is.
Yeah.
And then that way I get to read more too. So I'm not arguing.
Yeah, and you read faster, you get through it faster. It's great.
Yeah, and I get more information at once. All right, so I'm excited to get going.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to predict what happens next. I'm just going to read.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Okay. I think that this is part of the pattern now.
It's part of the pattern.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Derek Benton, Benjamin, Kyle Smith, Joe Lott, Passion Socks, Moltude, and Mozyme. Music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.